Hi coordinators, this is our Unit 4 video for ELF. This unit will be about rocks and minerals. In your resource box, you'll have your folder here with the puppet show. These are your puppets, there will be 4 of them. One of the props is going to be this sandwich, and there's also going to be a rolling pin. On your actual puppet show, it's also going to talk about a bunch of props in here, crunchy peanut butter and jelly, things like that. This is all the props. This and the rolling pin is going to be a replacement for the props that are in here. This is cave erosion for center 1. We're going to have, I'm not actually going to do the experiment, but this will be an experiment. We're going to have sugar cubes, we're going to have a cup for water, and we're going to have modeling clay and a couple of cookie sheets. So we're going to use 12 blocks of sugar. You can maybe use a little bit less if you want to, but we did the experiment with 12 and it worked out pretty well. The water, you could probably put in about half a cup of water, which is really, 1 cup is about this, actually half of this, and you could probably get away with about this much water in here. And then we're going to have the modeling clay sectioned out per class, and we're asking everyone to use just 1 ball of clay for each class, otherwise we're going to run out of clay pretty quickly. And you're going to put the cubes of sugar on a cookie tray, and then we're going to flatten out our modeling clay to cover up those cubes of sugar, and then that's going to mimic a cave with different layers of rocks in it. And then you're going to tilt the tray a little bit and then pour a little bit of water over the opening in the cave to show how eventually the water will come through and it'll bring some of the rocks, eroding rocks with it over time, which will be the sugar cubes. So try not to pour too much water, otherwise it's going to pull out all of the sugar, and we don't want everything to come out. We want to be able to see there's still some sugar cubes left inside. So if you can just be careful pouring the water over it. And then when you're finished with that experiment, just to make sure that you reuse the modeling clay and not just throw it out and grab another bag, because that would be wasteful. For rock riddles for center 2. There will be a lot of rocks in this center. Your volunteer might need some help with this one, but here is what will be happening. You are going to have lots of rocks in this box. They're going to be labeled on the bottom. They're not quite labeled yet, and it's going to tell you the difference between the sedimentary rocks. That's going to be labeled with S. M for metamorphic rocks, and then I for the ingenious rocks. When your volunteer lays them out, it might help at the beginning of the class for them to have them grouped like this so that they can do their rock riddles when the students are ready. They're going to be starting out with this, or they can start out with this Colorado rocks. So this talks about all the rocks, gems, and minerals that are native to Colorado. And those are rocks you might be dealing with here, or they might be minerals that you could be finding within your rocks. We have one test here that will be with hydrochloric acid. You're going to be testing this on one of the rocks. I believe this the sandstone, and that's going to be actually marked on your key which test you're going to be actually doing which rock you're going to be doing the test on. It's going to be a penny test, which you're going to rub on one of the rocks here to show them how it can scratch the rock. So these will all be marked within your key. It will tell you which rock to do which test with. And then there will be other things for the students to look at on the rocks to, for example, find a speckled rock, find a smooth layered rock, so they can go through and find those as part of their riddle. You'll also have a sheet here that the students can look at that shows the different minerals or the different gems per month of the year. And then the last thing here is, do you know your lifetime mineral consumption? So just talking about things like aluminum. In beverage cans, these are beverage cans, aircrafts, automobiles. We have 3,593 pounds of aluminum that we go through within our lifetime. So it has just a bunch of fun facts there that they can go through at the end once they've seen these minerals. Center 3, this house rocks. This one will be coming with a bag like this, and inside there is a Center 3 bag. It's called Products Not from Rocks. This has like a piece of leather, a piece of paper, some twine, and a piece of material. You can just show this as an example of something that's not from rocks. And the rest of the items in this bag are made from products from rocks. So you can show them the plastic, the glass that's formed from sand, aluminum, the minerals that are in your toothpaste, and some of these materials you can explain also with the salts that these are all minerals that come from rocks. With that, you can show them, you can go through this picture with them, which is minerals at home. So all the things that are at home, like glass, carpet, stuff, metal from your TV, baked goods, potting soil and things like that. So you can show them all these things from what's in their home that comes from rocks. In addition to that, you can go through this list, which is all the minerals like aluminum, copper, gold, and then how they're used. So gold can be used in dentistry and jewelry. Aluminum can be used just from beverage cans or in deodorant. And you can talk about how these are used. And then once you've gone through this, you can take your students outside and do a scavenger hunt. If you can't go outside because of the weather, then you can always go inside the school as well and look at the lights out, the light fixtures in the ceiling or things like that. Just it's fun to go outside. So if you can, that's what we would prefer for this station. Center 4, Rock Cycle Stories. With this one, the volunteer will have a set of 4 stories. For example, shell limestone marble will be one story, and we'll find that on this bag. So you'll have one of these story bags per story on your sheet here. When you take out the items, for the younger grades, say like kinder through maybe 2nd grade, you could lay everything out here that comes in your bag. So marble, shell would be the sedimentary rock, and limestone would be the metamorphic rock. You could lay it out like that and then talk through the story with them. So for example, you talk about the millions of creatures in the ocean live inside hard shells, and then you could point to here. And then you could go through that story and explain how the rock goes through its cycle here. For the older kids, say grades 4 and 5, they could maybe then take out the same thing that's cut up into smaller pieces here. These are all the same story that come from this paragraph here, and then they can read it for themselves, and then you can have this on the side and then ask them to read through the story and to take each one of them and figure out where to place it on the paper. And then they can actually lay it out like that and tell their own story. And then you can do that if you want 4 times, one per bag. 5 is mineral mosaics, and this will be the craft center. So each student will have a piece of paper like this. In your box, you will also have cut up pieces of paper, construction paper, which should be enough, hopefully, but they're different sized cut up pieces of paper that are white, black, and pink. And the reason that we ask you to just use these colors is because we're trying to create one of these granite. So the granite, we're trying to kind of stay with the same colors. And here would be another piece of granite. So you can show these as examples, and they're going to basically just try to create their own in here. So they'll be using glue and taking some of these pieces of paper and sticking it on here. And here is an example of one that's been completed. So they can talk about how the black is the mica, the quartz is the white, and the pink is the feldspar.